Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's have a look at the latest Kai Impossible for Daikokuten. And yeah, the previous one was Marishiten Kai, and he was very difficult. So people were wondering if there were going to be two difficult Kais in a row. Usually that doesn't happen for Impossible or Colossal missions. One is really tough, and the next one is a little bit less difficult. And that's the case here. People were thinking that since Daikokuten, the original one, was so difficult, that this one would also be difficult. But yeah, this one is not, so you could see a little bit of disappointment in some players as they were going through it the first few times. But anyway, gimmicks here are gravity barriers and warps, and then the tree guys, they will shoot out damage walls if we don't take them down quick enough. And then to talk about the team that I'm using, first is Dakki. She's a Pierce with no gravity barrier and no warp. And then the Rampage Laser, which is pretty strong, usually. But in this mission, the little Knight guys, they all have a lot of HP, so it's not great for taking them down. She also has a Speed and Power Up plus Poison Strike Shot, which is good against these guys. Next up is Yomi, who actually might be one of the best characters for this mission, Hatcher or Drop. And I think a team of 3 of him would be just fine to get through here, as long as you know what you're doing. He has a bounce, he has no gravity barrier, no warp, and then a fellow laser, which is not going to be a great damage source in here, especially since there are some laser barriers here and there. But he has a poison meteor strike shot, which can be helpful to take down the little guys. Next up is Hanzo, another bounce with no gravity barrier, no warp. He has a speed up and then creates a barrier strike shot, which can help him get around and then, you know, take down more guys at once, and then protect him from attacks for the next round if you use his second tier. And then finally, my friend is Kamui. He's another Pierce with no gravity barrier, no warp. And then his bomb combo is pretty strong. It's the expanding bomb. And then he's got the tackle strike shot. And yeah, overall this mission, not too difficult. I think you can play it more quickly. You can get faster clears if you use all bounce monsters. I think that's the general agreement about this mission. Because what you want to do every turn is take down the tree guy. And then you want to do as much damage to the knights as you can every turn. If you leave the tree guy out, he will use haste on the knight guys, and then the knight guys will be closer to their one-hit KOs. So yeah, take down the tree guy every turn as you do damage to the knight guys. And then once all of the knight guys are gone, then we can go after the boss or the mini-boss. And that's the basically the flow of every stage of this mission. With all bounce characters, you can get more concentrated damage, so you can take down the knight guys maybe one by one. Pierce characters, you know, they're easier to get around, but they can't do good concentrated damage, so that's maybe why this run took a little bit longer than your average run. Alright, this is an interesting stage. So yeah, every turn we want to take down the tree guy, and then we want to do damage to the knight guys. If we look at the number in the lower right-hand corner, we can see the count for their one-hit KO. So yeah, the guys in the lower left and the upper right, we want to get rid of first if we can. And then get rid of the other guys later. And then because this is a Kai quest, we do not need to bring a max luck if all we want is just the drop of Kai. Because that will drop guaranteed. However, if a Kai quest is easy enough for you to get through pretty consistently with a max luck, it might be an interesting idea to use the Kai quest to farm the max luck instead of the standard quest. I actually did this to finish my max luck of Ashura, and the reason why I did that is because I could get consistent clears, and then the quest itself is different from the standard. So if you are bored of, you know, say the standard Ashura mission, as I was, then you can farm the Kai version instead. And that's a nice change of pace. And then also, since you get the guaranteed drop of the Kai, that's a guaranteed drop for clearing an impossible. So that can speed up the process a little bit. And then here, a lot of people find Daikokuten Kai to be pretty easy. So if you had a max luck of Yomi, of course, you can go through and then do that. I actually played and I got a couple clears with Anko, because she is my max luck. She's another dark, balanced, no warp, no gravity barrier. And yeah, she's just fine in here as well. Not as good as Yomi, of course, but yeah. And then I am not planning on making the max luck of Daikokuten. I did that before in the English version. I was very happy to have that, because I do like the character a lot. But I never actually used them at all. There's never really a situation where I needed them. I could have used them in Akasha, but actually I don't like their chain lightning in there, because you want to take down guys in a specific order, and then if you take down the golems too early, they can hit you with a white blast, and then sometimes the chain lightning will do that. So I don't recommend Daikokuten for there. You could also use Daikokuten in Izanagi 0, but I also don't recommend that, because there are other characters, no warp characters with faster strike shots, which gives them immunity to the magic circles. And then also, Daikokuten's bump combo, the chain lightning, it's not good in there either, because you ideally want bump combos that will fill a screen, so you can set off the counterattacks of the wizard guys to get the healing walls out. However, with this Daikokuten Kai, there is a sub-bump combo, the piercing spread. So if you were interested in using Daikokuten to make the max luck of Izanagi 0, then you might want to use that version. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. I've heard some people say, some high-level JP players, that they still use Daikokuten to this day. But I never see them actually use it. And I can't think of any quest really where I would want to bring them. If you love Daikokuten, you want to make the max luck, go for it. But yeah, I'm just going to get the one clear of Daikokuten, get the one drop, and then call it a day, I think. But anyway, we are getting close to the boss sequence. Same thing as always, we'll take down the tree, do damage to the knights. Once all the knights are gone, we'll go after the mini-boss and the boss. And it was funny watching the live, clears of these of the JP players going through, because they're all wondering when the mask, the men, was going to come, because they play a very important role in the original Daikokuten. In the pre-boss stages, they are they're nice characters. They shoot out the healing walls, but then once you get to the boss sequence, then they become bad. So you don't want to take them down. Because they will make the boss angry. So people were really wondering how the mechanic was going to work in this quest. And then my Hanzo, he has a knockout Abelberry. And I'm finding that's pretty annoying in lots of quests where we need counterattacks. But there are no counterattacks in this mission, so if you do have a knockout Abelberry, it'll work pretty great in here. Okay, so here is the boss sequence, and then finally we have the men down there in the center. We do not want to take down the men too quickly. If we do take it down, of course, the boss will go into angry mode. But the angry mode is not that bad, and also, it doesn't carry over to the next stage. So if we wanted to, clear a stage, but we had to go through the men, that's fine, we can do that. But first of all, of course, we'll take down the tree as we do damage to the knights. And then, I think, this might be just a theory, I haven't proved it yet, but if you never take down the men, then the boss of Daikokuten Kai never has a one-hit KO attack. So yeah, if you were careful, you can, you know, kind of take it leisurely through the boss sequence. Alright, concentrating damage on the knight. And there he goes. Alright, so now it's just us and the boss. And then although I do say that taking down the men is not that big of a deal, the boss still has, you know, fairly damaging attacks just regularly. So yeah, that spread can be painful if we're near the boss. The fireball that we saw a turn ago, that can be painful as well. But yeah, none of them are one-hit KOs, so yeah, we'll just take it easy here. We'll just do damage to the boss little by little. Alright, this should do it. Not quite. Okay, so we broke the men. So we broke the mask. Daikokuten goes into angry mode. And then actually that attack does the same amount of damage as before. But the boss gets some new attacks. A white blast in particular that we need to watch out for. Okay, so we're in stage 2 of the boss sequence. The boss is back to non-angry mode. So yeah, we can take down the men without worrying about it too much. As long as we do it later in that stage. Okay, we'll get one hit on the men. Thankfully the critical didn't go into there. Alright, there's that knockout. No disadvantage here in this quest. Okay, one more night to go. And then as for the tree, we only need to hit him once. I haven't used a character yet that can't take him down in one hit, so yeah, we just need to touch him once, and then we can continue on. Okay, perfect. So there go all the knights, and then the men has quite a bit of HP left, so we'll just continue doing damage to the boss. Whoops. No big deal. Alright, so with bump combos, we took down the men again. Boss goes into angry mode. But yeah, that attack, that's not bad at all. So we'll just keep going after the boss. Alright, there he goes. There they go. Okay, last stage. This one's a little bit tricky because that knight up there at the top, he's pretty far away from the trees. But we're going to use Yomi Strike Shot, make sure that we hit that top guy. And then whoever else we hit, that's who we hit. So yeah, we broke the men again, but I don't really mind too much, because I'm just going to be using Strike Shots from now. So we should get the rest of the boss's HP down pretty quickly. Okay, let's use a Hanzo's Strike Shot for the speed up. Okay, get lots of hits on everybody. Alright, and then we clear the field, so it's just us and the boss. Okay, lots of damage, but still haven't taken down the boss. The boss has a lot of HP. Okay, and that is that. So yeah, not too difficult. Maybe I'll try it again with all bounce characters, since that seems to work pretty well. Alright. And then let's skip ahead. Let's look at the available sub-bump combos for Daikokuten Kai. Okay, there they are. So the first one there is the Homing 8. I don't really recommend that one, it's not too good. Next is the Cross Laser S. That could be okay, it covers a little bit of the screen. But better than that is the Spread Piercer, the third one. And this one I recommend if you really want to use Daikokuten in Izanagi 0. The fourth one there is the green peas, although I guess they're light, so maybe garbanzo beans or something. But this would be the one that I would recommend to people that want a bump combo that can kind of, you know, go long range, and then also do some fair damage. This is not good in Izanagi 0 because there's other guys in the way. Also not good in Akasha because there's lots and lots of enemies in there. But just for more general quests, if you wanted more range in addition to the short range chain lightning, this would be the best one. And then finally, the one that everybody's looking at is the Chokyo Flare, or the Big Flare. And yeah, this will do more damage than the average flare, of course, but a little bit less because it is the sub-bump combo. It does have a chance to stun, which is nice. That's a nice kind of support ability for Daikokuten to suddenly get. It is short range though, so it's not going to really help the chain lightning get more range. And yeah, the damage for the Super Flare as a sub-bump combo is about 12,000, which is even less than Fudomyo's Flare, so not that great of a damage source. You'd really want it more just for the chance to stun. Okay, so good luck with that, and then maybe think about farming this quest if you wanted to make the max luck of Daikokuten. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.